welcome to Better Cocktails at Home. I'm Brian Johnson, and we're in our home bar here at the Quarterdeck Club, and we have a special guest on our episode today. This is Ilias Mastrogiannis, and he runs a distillery here near where I live in Lakewood, Washington. That's not where I live, but that's where the distillery is. Mm-hmm. And so he was going to talk a little bit about our products, and we're actually, for the month of April, we're doing videos using all of his products. I think they're really good, so if you know me, I don't use any products I don't think are quality products. So they're really good products, and I think he does a good job of kind of showing what a small distiller can do when they kind of like focus their efforts and are kind of, I think, really thoughtful about what they make, what they produce, that kind of stuff. So this video, we're just going to kind of introduce a lot of the different products. You saw the first video I did this month. We actually used their kind of the main brandy, Baton.
The Baton, yeah.
And so, yeah. So maybe for this one, why don't we just start with introducing yourself, kind of how you got started with the distillery, and then we'll taste a couple bottles, and yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Brian. This is a beautiful setup. Maybe the best home bar that I've ever been, so very well put, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We are, as Brian said, Distillery and Winery from Lakewood, Washington. We started about 8 years ago with really the focus of distilling grape brandies. You know, in the U.S. and particularly Washington, we make great wines, but not really a lot of spirits from grapes.
Was that part of the business plan, or just because you liked brandy, or because I mean you don't see it a lot of small distillers making brandy? So was that part of the business plan, or you just liked it?
No, it was part of the business plan. I grew up in Greece, so a lot of grape influences. You know, my dad was kind of a home winemaker that got crazy with the side of the business. So we were focused on brandies from the beginning. That was the business plan, is to kind of showcase, hopefully, brandies and American brandy and what we can do. So,
that's super cool.
Yeah, now going on our 9th year, and we have a couple different expressions, a couple flavored brandies. We do a vermouth because we're a winery, so that's a little fun project, combining both distillery and winery.
Cool. Well, should we taste?
Yeah, we can start.
Brandy?
Yeah, and kind of.
I can start with this one. This is like, is this your main?
This is the flagship, the Baton, as you said. This particular batch is about 4 years old. Obviously, it's distilled from grapes, and the unique thing that we do is we barrel age in ex-wine barrels. So we use essentially neutral oak, so it's not overly, very well balanced, and the influence of the wine barrel shines a lot. It gives it a little bit of the red hue, a lot of the character from that wine barrel as well.
No, it's super tasty. I've been enjoying mixing drinks with it, and you can totally sip it.
A little vanilla.
Yeah, it's just a nice quality brandy, right? I mean, like, you just don't see a lot of that, so that's why I think it's so interesting.
Yeah. And obviously, no additives. It's just pure.
And this is what, like 43?
That's 43. Okay. So yeah, most of the barrel-aged brandies, that's kind of the range that I personally like.
Yeah, I feel like brandy at 40% can get, especially in cocktails, you're mixing with it, it can get lost real fast. And I find a little bit of extra proof, I think, kind of helps it stand out when you're mixing drinks with it.
Especially in cocktails, exactly. Yeah. We focus a lot of the products, hopefully with a cocktail in mind. Yeah. Or cocktail forward.
Well, it's a good way, I mean, to get people to buy it and they keep making drinks they like and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's the flagship brandy.
That's the flagship.
Yeah. What should we try next?
We can try the Racomelo, which is actually, we're going to make a cocktail coming up shortly. So this is a Greek-inspired honey brandy. We actually use real honey from Maple Valley, so it's local wildflower honey from here in Washington. It starts with a neutral base, so it was meant for cocktails. I was trying to figure out, what's a great combination to make cocktails, and a neutral grape base works really well. And then it has wildflower honey, Ceylon cinnamon, and a little bit of cloves. It's a very traditional recipe from the island of Crete in Greece. So we just make it here locally. And we're going to make a killer cocktail hopefully soon.
Yeah, it's super good. I mean, you get those, get the cinnamon for sure. Like, I love cinnamon. That's like a favorite flavor of
very
mine.
Clean. Yeah. You get the cinnamon, a little bit of the honey.
Okay.
And that neutral base works really well again for cocktails. That's kind of
a grape.
It is a grape, yeah. So all the things that we do start from grape or wine.
So that's kind of like a pre-mixed cocktail almost. I mean,
in a way,
you've got like a base, you've got a sweet component, you've got some spice and
Yeah.
flavor. I mean, that's...
Yeah, makes a great hot toddy during winter.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, very versatile.
That's really good. Well, I'm excited to make the drink with it because it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Next up, we can maybe do the Hazy Syrah,
okay.
which is maybe one of our most unique products.
It is really interesting, actually.
Very, very interesting.
How did you come up with this? I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with it?
Yeah, so this one has a very unique story because we are a winery again. We bring Syrah grapes for our winemaking program. So we make a little bit of red wine every year, mostly Syrah. So one year we had a little bit of extra. Actually, as we were crushing, must was essentially overflowing from our tank. So we reserved a little bit, and at the time we had obviously a lot of brandy. So we actually added brandy into those fresh grapes.
Yeah.
Let it sit for a couple weeks, and then I was tasting it throughout the process, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? It is so good. So it's essentially, we call it the fresh grape infused brandy.
Okay.
It's really fresh Syrah grapes and the baton brandy, the aged component. And we let it macerate for a couple weeks, do a light filtration, and we just bottle it. So it has those natural sugars from those grapes. Very complex. Each vintage changes because of the grapes change.
Okay. Yeah, it's just really unusual. It's it's like there's the mouthfeel of a spirit, but then it's got the color of a wine. It's just an interesting little product.
Yeah, and actually after I made this, I'm doing a little research on what to name it because I had no idea how do we even get it approved.
Yeah.
And there's actually a very popular in France. It's called Pinot de Sorrentes. So it's actually a very popular brandy style in France. I had no knowledge of it at the time.
Well, you know.
It
happens. Most things are, I feel like, completely new inventions, right? You're kind of you make something, you discover what somebody else did or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you think it's a brand new idea, but it's usually somebody else has done it before.
Yeah, it's just really a cool little... Yeah, just really unusual.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Great with a little lemon tonic to kind of break the sweetness. Yeah. Very...
That's
very,
32%.
Yeah, each batch varies, but this one is at 32, I believe.
Cool, okay. We've got one more product here to try.
Yeah, we have the vermouth, which is a rosé-based vermouth. So it's made from our rosé wine. It was, again, a little happy accident. We had excess rosé wine, not enough bottles to bottle, so we decided to make a vermouth. 7 different botanicals, including a lot of figs, cocoa nibs, vanilla, cherries, and sweetened with wildflower honey as well.
Ooh. Okay. So kind of not a traditional vermouth, probably. It's going to be a little bit... It's kind of jammy.
It has that jammy
fruity.
from those figs, exactly. Yeah, contains wormwood, so it does have a little bit of the bitterness.
Okay,
but not as
it's
intense.
I love sweet vermouth.
Yeah,
vermouth is just amazing and it's super fun and that's super cool. Yeah, it's definitely really fruit forward and kind of that rich dark fruit flavor.
Yep,
which is probably a lot of the fig influence.
Yeah, 2 kinds of different figs that we use, so that brings a lot of the flavor into the product.
Nice. So how does I guess I'm curious, so the brandy thing is, I think, a little unusual for small distilleries. How have people responded pretty well? Or do people like it? Or do you do a lot of education? Or what's the...
Yeah, brandy does require a lot of education, at least in the U.S. I think it's an underrated category in my view.
Absolutely.
So it does require a little bit of education from the consumer side, but I think once they try the product, they really understand it, and especially when they are a wine drinker, so that connects really well when you explain it. Hey, actually this comes from grapes. Based, yeah. Okay. So
cool. Like I said, products are really good, and I don't push or promote any products I don't think are high quality, things you should have in your bar that are worth spending money on. And I think you've got good products that are interesting and you care about the product, and so totally. I love it, which is why I'm super excited. So the next step is next video, we're actually going to be making a cocktail. It's your original, right? From you?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a combination of just looking at other, kind of getting influence from the rum-based cocktail. So yeah, we're going to use a pineapple-infused simple syrup to make a super delicious cocktail with our Racomolo.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited. So that'll be the next video, so tune in next episode, and we'll be back making that drink. And so I thank you so much for watching Better Cocktails at Home, and I hope to see you on the next episode.